want a second look.
Yeah, there's something about this one, isn't there? Familiar somehow.
We think we're stuck in a specific fragment in time, and we've been repeating that same fragment over and over again.
But the flirting's over, Sherlock. Daddy's had enough now.
Hello, welcome to You've Seen It Before, TV Reviews Connection to Mind. The Mandalorian has dropped its third season on Disney+. All episodes are now streaming on there. It is once again run by Jon Favreau, and once again stars Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin, aka The Mandalorian, alongside Kay Sackhoff as Bo-Katan Kryze. And this season focuses on Din Djarin's quest to be redeemed in the eyes of his covenant, his culvert, or whatever, and bathe in the living waters of Mandalore, a place that he has been told is cursed. And along the way, he must enlist the help of Bo-Katan and reclaim Mandalore for Mandalorians. Now, this video review will contain spoilers of Mandalorian Season 3. I'll be doing my spoiler-free thoughts first and foremost, but just so you know, there will be some spoiler talk later on in this review. But first and foremost, let's get into some spoiler-free talk on The Mandalorian Season 3. Is it another great season of The Mandalorian? Is it worth that Disney Plus subscription? I would say yes. However, the cracks are beginning to show, in my opinion. Because while it's great to see Din Djarin and Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian, and we do get some of the same kind of energy that we got from earlier seasons, where it's a story about a Mandalorian and his baby Yoda, baby Grogu there, going around the galaxy doing stuff. You get that, and it's great for when it is. However, it's running into the same kind of problem that the Book of Boba Fett did, where, the Book of Boba Fett was supposed to be about Boba Fett. And for the most part it was, and then until the end, where it suddenly became Mandalorian Season 2.5, which, if you love The Mandalorian, great! However, we were here to watch Boba Fett show, and it's not about Boba Fett, these episodes. So that's what, if you go back and watch my review, you'll know that that's how I thought that kind of dragged down the series overall for that. And this one, Mandalorian Season 3, is kind of suffering from the same flaw, and that's with Bo-Katan. And listen, Bo-Katan's is an interesting character. I think she's got some of the things going. Full disclosure, I've seen like maybe 15 or 20 episodes of the first season of the Clone Wars. I haven't seen anything beyond that. I haven't seen any Rebels. I know there's a lot of stories about Mandalorians and Bo-Katan and all that, but I don't know anything about that history. I have to, spend an afternoon going through Wikipedia to try to figure all that stuff out. So if me watching this, it's like, all right, we're spending a lot of time with Bo-Katan. It's like, it's fine, but I don't feel as invested in that storyline as I do with, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, and Grogu. And, it's supposed to be about the Mandalorian. Din Djarin is the Mandalorian, not Mandalorians, plural. That, it's like, great, they're on this quest, but I'm here to watch, Mandalorian and Grogu. That's why I'm here. And then they could, for large parts of this of the season, they're there, but they're just kind of off to the side a little bit, and they're taking a side. It's more about Bo-Katan's story than anything else, and I feel like that's a hindrance to this series. I mean, it's not a bad thing for a series to evolve, and maybe that's where the series is evolving to. But for me, that's, I'm not as invested in it. I'm sure people who are way more invested in the Bo-Katan storyline are going to be thrilled at all the developments in this season. But for me, I'm like, cool, awesome. But what about Grogu? What's he up to? And let's get some more of that, of him and Din Djarin doing their own thing. And we get flares of that here or there. And but not a whole lot much else. And also, it should be noted that there's an episode, I believe it's episode 3 or 4, I believe it was 3, where a large, again, much like Book of Boba Fett, there's a episode where large chunks of it are following a completely different story, away from even the main characters. And that's fine if they come back into the story in a meaningful way later, but I would argue, no, they really don't. I mean, yes, they're following a character who's there at the end, but that's all there is. I'm like, looking back, I was like, why was this important at all? and like I said, there seems to be a focus issue with this season. And what people loved about The Mandalorian, myself included, is starting to get diluted by other things from other series, like, Clone Wars, Rebels, all those things. And for people who watch those series and appreciate those, they'll get a lot more out of them. And I'm sure they're going to have a great time. For me, I'm just not one of those people. And I'm starting to feel like The Mandalorian is kind of losing me a little bit. I mean, I'm still interested where we're going with this. The ending has me intrigued. It's like, all right, this could be an interesting spin-off. There's a spin-off point associated with this. Maybe we'll get back to basics next season. But for my money, season 3 was a bit of a mixed bag, in my opinion. And I don't know what else to say about that, and I'm not sure where we go from here, frankly. So if I was going to give The Mandalorian Season 3 a letter grade, I would say this is a B-. It's definitely not, the worst Star Wars ever. There's definitely some fun things with this, and frankly, the production quality is as good as it's always been. There's some interesting characters along the way. We got some fun little callbacks. I especially like one with a bunch of my favorites involve a bunch of reprogrammed separatist battle droids, and another involves mouse droids. One with the little cart with wheels or whatever, whizzing around the Death Star from New Hope. That was hilarious, but overall mixed bag in my opinion. But like I said, I didn't watch Clone Wars Rebels, so your results may vary. So those are my main thoughts on Mandalorian Season 3, spoiler-free wise. Now let's get into some spoiler talk at certain plot developments and character arcs that may seem familiar to you and where you may have seen them before. So I feel like there's a couple of main things that I'm sure I'm not the only one to compare to. And like I said, they all revolve around Bo-Katan and her, reuniting the Mandalorians, because that's essentially what this season turned into. There's a certain sense of, maybe think of Avatar, not The Last Airbender, but, the one with blue people, where, you got, various clans of Mandalorians banded together to reclaim their world from an invading force, or a force that has destroyed their world. Kind of similar to Avatar on that front. Or you could also point to a quest to their homeland to reclaim it, and also including a gigantic forge. You can go to the Hobbit trilogy. You can point to that as well. Specifically, Desolation of Smog had the big battle with the forge. So there's that going there. And also, there's a lot of drama associated with the Darksaber. Again, I know the Darksaber is important. I know it's an artifact. I know it's discussed extensively in Clone Wars, Rebels, or whatever. I've never seen them. I just know it from the show, from this show. And, okay, it's important. It just made me think of Return of the King. The blade that was broken to reunite, has been remade to reunite the kingdom, or at least at this point, the blade has been reclaimed by the rightful ruler of Mandalore to reunite our people. Which also brings me back to the final point of comparison, which I'm sure I know other people have made this comparison, but the Darksabers rules of ownership as to who it accepts. It's kind of wand logic-y from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Like, who owns the Elder Wand? Like, all right, so, you know, if the previous owner got disarmed or was killed, then they got it. But then if they were disarmed, then they got it. But you know, the Darksaber is kind of similar. You know, it's like, all right, so you took it by combat, and you can't just give it away without another combat. Except this person took it away. It's very complicated, and it was a very roundabout way. And it's like, it felt very much like the writers just kind of had to yada yada the way to get back to Bo-Katan somehow getting the Darksaber back properly. They're like, all right, cool. I'm sure this means something to someone, but I'm like, all right, let's move along here. So, I mean, that was my personal takeaway. So, but like I said, overall, positives better than negatives, but the negatives do drag on this quite a bit. And like I said, what made The Mandalorian great in its first season, and really and second season as well, has been diluted in this third season, I feel like. So those are my main points of comparison with The Mandalorian Season 3. What did you think of this past season? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What about my analysis? Do you agree, disagree? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate whatever audience I can get. Be sure to look for my next TV review, which will be for Star Trek Picard Season 3, which should be up by now, if not will be shortly. As well as my next movie review, which will be for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which comes out this week. And if you like this video or any other video on my channel, please give me a like, share, and especially subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching. Just remember, there is nothing new under the sun. And yes, you have seen it before.